What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to Collectors Gone Digital. My name is Josh, and on today's episode, we are going to be recapping all the information that VEVE has recently dropped. So if you are someone that has missed it, this video is for you. We're talking about all the Comic-Con drops. We're talking about licensors, comics, as well as a couple other things. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So first and foremost, with regards to the Blackbird episode, guys, I am not going to lie, I am struggling to put it together. I don't think they're going to be dropping any recap information about the event, so I do apologize for that. If they do end up dropping anything, it'll be the first episode I drop. But to start things off for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Magneto and Professor X, two drops that are going to be happening in New York. So starting with Professor X, he is going to be the founder and head of the X-Men, and he's going to be dropping with 2,666 total editions. And then the second piece in the set is going to be Magneto himself, who's going to be one of the most iconic and long-lasting antagonists in the X-Men series. So he sees mutants as the next stage of evolution and believes they should assert their dominance. Now both these collectibles are going to be ultra rares, however Magneto is going to be dropping with a larger edition size. He's going to have 2,888 total editions. Now, both these characters have been around for quite a while. Magneto is actually introduced towards the beginning of the series as well. And he's going to be a character where, although he's considered an enemy of the X-Men, in the past, he has actually worked alongside them for the greater good. So it shows that his character isn't entirely one-dimensional or just, strictly evil. If you guys are interested in going for this drop, it is going to be a blind box. It drops on the 15th of October, and it's going for a drop price of 40 gems. So next on the list, we got one that a lot of people have been talking about here, and that is going to be X-Men #1. So in other words, the first appearance of pretty much everyone in the X-Men and Magneto. Now there are going to be 10,000 total editions released for a drop price of 20 gems, which is understandable considering the value of the physical comic, which you guys see on the right-hand side there. There's a little over 4,500 universal copies, of which 6,100 have been graded total. And right now on Go Collect, there isn't a value for a 9.8, but for a 9.6. The last one sold for $575,000. So this is a major comic, and it's definitely one where there's going to be a lot of competition for it on drop. Now another drop happening in New York is going to be Kingpin from Daredevil, and it's going to be his first appearance on VEVE. So he's a highly intelligent and strategic criminal mastermind, and he's one of the most influential and powerful crime bosses in the Marvel Universe. Now, Kingpin doesn't actually have any superhuman powers, but his strength, durability, and combat skills are all the result of his intense training and physical conditioning. So this one looks really good in my opinion. I actually forgot to mention with Professor X and Magneto, alongside this one as well, they are introducing a new style, like an art style. I forget the term they actually use, but it's where the ink marks are actually showing on the collectible, and it kind of gives the comic look to that 3D asset. I don't know about you guys, but I really like it. And I'm actually even questioning if there is a new studio behind these pieces. Now, for anyone interested in pairing this one with Daredevil and Elektra, bro, there are going to be 2,444 total editions, and you can pick them up for a drop price of 40 gems on October 13th. Next up, and oh baby, I am excited for this one. The Addiction comic series, or aka VEVE'S first physical comic. So there are going to be 5 cover variants. A total of 6,850 editions are going to be minted. The uncommon variant and the ultra rare variant are going to be the red and blue covers you see on the right hand side there, and they are limited to 1,000 physical copies each that are also paired with a promo code to redeem the digital version. So this is the first comic series ever to be released with a pizzeria, and this pizzeria is going to be located in New York City. Now the main character is going to be named Nikki Tino, and she can alter her blood chemistry at will, which is very similar to the Crimson Crusader from the GCU. For anyone who hasn't read his origin story, that's available on site now. And then they are going to be doing an Addiction art contest that runs until this Sunday, which is when New York Comic Con ends. It can be physical art, digital art, it can be static, a video, it can be stop motion, like pretty much anything, but incorporating Addiction into the art piece. So the top 3 winners are going to be given prizes. I'll toss those prizes on screen now, all 3 of which are CGC graded comics. I believe all are 9.8s as well. And wow, they're amazing prizes, and I'm definitely going to be going for this because I'm trying to get my first CGC comic. So I'm super excited about this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else creates. Next up, they are going to be dropping a Tokimondo series on the app, and this is going to have 5 variants: a common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. Now, the origin stories behind these 5 monsters is that at one of Tokyo's oldest restaurants, its new chef entered the meat freezer, and all of a sudden he was transported to an ice age. So entranced by these enormous reptiles, he grabbed a large lone egg to keep as a souvenir, of which he brought back to cook into the perfect omelet. That's random. He microwaved it. The electromagnetic radiation birthed an ice age creature who he then named Kaiju Tokimon. Talk about a story, but that is it. So for anyone interested in going for this drop, it is going to be dropping on the 13th of October. It is going to be a blind box series dropping for 13 gems. Now, we're not actually done talking about Tokimondo, and that's because we got another collaboration with the company Toy Tokyo. And they've collabed to create an exclusive gold kaiju, which is a rare breed that lives in a secret volcanic island described in a pirate's map. So it says that if you dig to the center of the island, you'll find this kaiju's secret cave where he guards and hoards his treasures. Apparently, he often comes to the surface to hunt for more, and everywhere he steps, he leaves gold footprints that fill the earth with gold. So like all the other Toy Tokyo drops, this one is going to be very limited, only 500 editions. It is going to be dropping for a price of 35 gems, and if interested, you can go for it on October 14th. So this one I am very, very excited for, and that is going to be the Big Top Popaganda. So I did not expect Ron to be dropping a comic, especially considering that we were just hearing about his Delusionville, and I was in the mindset of expecting vehicles and other things like that. But this comic is going to contain the origin story of MC Supersized and Orion the Obese Alien. It's also going to include his cursed kids, iconic parody ads, and bonus content, which pertains to the Rabbids' origin story. Now, speaking of Delusionville, apparently this comic is going to be part of it, and additional pages have been made exclusively for VEVE. So it's roughly 45 pages, Corey says, of which roughly a dozen have been made exclusively for us. Now, we all know that Ron's art is very colorful, and David does confirm this. He says that it's probably the most colorful comic he's ever seen. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, there are going to be 2 cover variants, both of which are on the right-hand side. They're dropping for 7 gems on October 15th, and there's going to be a total edition size of 2,888. Next up, the bombs keep dropping. We got Superior Spider-Man #1, or in other words, the first ever physical VEVE comic. Or at least that's what they say. I guess, is Addiction #2 then? The physical ones? I don't know. But this is going to be a collaboration directly with Marvel, okay? So, you know, in our last episode, we talked about how Marvel's collaboration with VEVE only seems to be getting stronger and stronger. But we got Funko Marvel VEVE, we got Christian Louis Marvel VEVE, and now we got Marvel releasing their first ever physical comic book with VEVE, which shows their trust as well as vision that they have with the company. Because I'll be honest, this is something that I expected, but not this soon. Especially for Marvel to be introducing VEVE to their audience in this way, because this is definitely going to expose VEVE to new users. And, you know, the way that they're doing it really shows the value that Marvel sees in VEVE. And as I'm saying this, I keep looking at the VEVE logo on the back of the comic. So there is going to be 2 cover variants. There's 2 different ways to buy the variants. I don't want to get into this too much because I didn't really understand it the best. From my understanding, there's a singular comic that you can buy, which I believe would be the common variant, or you can buy it in a package where you get both variants. Now, unfortunately, it is only going to be a New York Comic-Con booth exclusive. So someone like myself who is not going to Comic-Con does not have the option to participate. But I can understand that because they have a very limited print run. Now, David does say that they want to offer more physical products as a way to get new users onto the platform. And like I said before, I think this is a fantastic way of doing just that. So in our last episode, we were talking about the Christian Louis collab with Marvel and VEVE, and I want to head back to that real quick because I did miss some things that I want to show you guys. So I'm not entirely sure if this page was created after I dropped the video because I did not see this anywhere on their website, but I was talking about before how they didn't have VEVE'S logo advertised anywhere. As you guys see on screen, they do now, or they did before, I just missed it. And then at the top of the page, they do actually have a video that breaks down the comic they released with Christian Louis as well. And that was something that we did not dive into in our last episode. So what I want to do is play this video for you guys. And then at the bottom of this page, they actually allow you to walk through it, which I'll do quickly as well. So towards the bottom of the page, you are going to come across this, a dream come true. So they say the collaboration originates based off Christian Louis' lifetime admiration for Marvel, his authentic love of superheroes, colorful creativity, and the extraordinary and unique storytelling that can only be brought to life by a Marvel comic book. So to round today's episode off, I want to talk about something that I noticed within this comic. So this is going to be the first page of the comic. And I'm not sure if you guys have noticed already, but these are going to be comic panels that we already saw animated within this video. Okay, animated. So I completely understand that this is not a VEVE comic, but it's a Marvel comic. And it shows you the potential of where things can go with our VEVE comics. So we've done an episode in the past talking about certain applications that can be introduced for comics, and animated panels was one of them. So I think this is something we can definitely see down the line. And the day that it does get introduced, if at all, it's definitely going to be in a stored day. As you can see in the top right hand side, the video started off with him opening that capsule, right? The Eye of Horus that he's holding right there, that was all shining, right? The clones of him at the bottom, those were all moving. And if we move deeper into the comic, you guys are going to be able to relate these panels to the video you guys just watched. It's a super colorful comic. I love it. With a nice little sketch from Christian Louis for Marvel at the end. So there you guys have it. That is going to conclude today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. But that's going to be a summary of a majority of the things that's been happening with the VEVE project. And I couldn't be more excited. So if the team is watching this, you guys are crushing it. Keep doing your thing. The last thing I will say, I was just thinking about that little addiction competition that they're doing. There is another competition I forgot to mention. They are doing a cosplay competition, and the winner of that competition, get this, you get put on the ultra rare cover for variant number 3 in the Addiction series. That is insane. It's nothing that I'm going to be participating in myself, but for people like Clarissa, if you're watching this, here's your chance. But other than that, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And as for our next, I'll catch you then.